How's it going, everybody? Matt here with a little bit of a late, video, but this is going to be Random Mask Monday for this week. I'm getting started back on this series, plus got a couple other videos in the works for you guys here pretty soon. But I figured we'd go ahead and start things back off now that, the holidays are settling down here in the States. We've got New Year's to just this past weekend, and everything else, but everything's done. I'm back in full swing of things as far as the shop goes, getting all the new orders out, which of course the link for my Etsy store will be in the description below. But just jump right in. This is my Ghost Glow. We've never actually figured out if this is a recast or if it's a separate sculpt. I'm pretty sure it's a separate sculpt, because the detail is very, very lacking, and there are, of course, blemishes in this mask that would just kind of help the guess. This mask is actually quite a few years old. I'm actually getting ready to wear it again at this year's Carolina Rebellion. Of course, if you haven't checked that video out, feel free to do so. I kind of go over the masks and stuff that I'm going to wear for the festival and everything else. But yeah, this one will be worn on either the second day or the third day. I haven't quite decided. Showing a little bit of wear and tear everywhere. That's all natural. There is not a whole lot of hand done abuse. I mean, the dreads, of course, but the dreads have actually been redone. I pulled the core from the rope that they were made out of before. Now that I know a little bit better about what I'm doing as far as dreads go, I pulled the core for those to make them floppy and everything else, and take a huge majority of the weight out of this mask. But yeah, I got it as a blank about 4 years ago, I guess. About $30 on eBay. Dude was literally just getting rid of it, and I was like, sure, why not? It'd be a pretty cool little project mask. Of course, this mask looked horrible. The mouth is cut, very, very poorly. Even this piece right here, I put this in just to close this off, because he had this cut all the way up to here. So there was like this little tiny piece of latex that was holding everything together. And then, of course, I did all the stitching and everything to it. I even I had to paint the whole thing again. I was learning how to paint latex masks to where they would seal, and the paint and stuff wouldn't start chipping and cracking. So I actually painted this one twice, and I'm really enjoying this paint job. It's very, very worn, very beaten up, very late, self-titled. Got my couple of little accuracy cuts back here. Probably actually going to sew that one back up, just because I don't really like the way that it flares out when you wear it. I have a very huge head, so whenever you wear the masks, they stretch out very, very, very much. So these aren't too bad. But this big one over here, this one will definitely be fixed before the festival, just to kind of cut down, bring that closer to my head, make everything look a little bit tighter. But I do have all my dreads that, of course, like I said, have been redone. Then, of course, we had to just kind of makeshift a patch for the back of this mask, because whenever I bought it, it was just a huge hole. There was no patch. There was no extra pieces to go with it, nothing. So the patch for the eye, patch for the mouth, and then this big patch here, which this was actually made from a recast that I worked on a couple years ago. I just cut it up. Didn't really update the paint to match this mask. It's actually started doing it on its own naturally. Up here you can see it's very dirty. So yeah, and of course you got a pretty good gap here because they had this thing, completely butchered. Updated it with a semi-decent belt and buckle system. I like it a lot better than what was on it. But I will probably end up redoing it before the festival, but I haven't really decided yet, as this mask is not long from being retired. So I may just leave it as is, and that way everything on it is, festival used. But yeah, my awesome recasted, resculpt, ghost glow conversion from myself. It's pretty cool. I like it. I love this mask so much. It's one of the first accurate Slipknot masks that I purchased, because in the previous videos I've shown you my Jim and my Corey Taylor All Hope Is Gone. But this was the first mask that I'd bought that was accurate that I worked on. This was the very first mask that I'd ever really started doing any type of converting to. I even, had done up the dreads and stuff, and I mean, it was just, if you saw this mask before, it was very poor looking, very sad. But now that I've got a little bit more awareness in me as far as, accuracy and a lot of photos and stuff, I've done about as much as I can, making this as accurate as possible, especially with as horrible as it was to begin with. I mean, everything was cut, the eyes and stuff were already cut. I didn't have anything to do with that, which I may actually box this one off just a little bit, make it a little bit more accurate. But again, like I said, this mask isn't far from being retired for good, because I would say that not too much longer. Washing it and keeping it, clean on the inside is not going to help it, and it's going to start rotting away. So yeah, it'll probably be retired. 2, I'm also going to be doing a couple more videos this week, so stay tuned for those. Like and subscribe as always. Links to Facebook, Instagram, and my Etsy shop will be in the link down below. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.